Miles, I play drums in the band.
I'm Christo, I sing and I play guitar.
I'm Gavin, I play bass.
I'm Ray, and I play guitar.
And we're Bad Sons.
My body I must reclaim with different eyes and no shame.
It's one of those things where it really took several years to unfurl itself into becoming this collection of people in this band. But we met in junior high school, we met in high school, but not going to the same high school. We met through bands. So pretty much after a certain point, we all just met via a community of venues and a bunch of musicians that we all kind of knew and met and would play shows with. It's not like a very Los Angeles scene, I would say, that we come from. It's more of like the Valley. And there's a venue called the Cobalt Cafe, and there's a bunch of venues just around the Valley that are kind of scattered, and where kids would basically go just because nowhere else would let you play concerts without having to sell an obscene amount of tickets like they would in Hollywood. In order to play a show, you have to be able to sell 200 tickets, and it's just like no one can do that. So we all kind of met at these kind of dingy clubs. It all brought us together, and it brought a lot of people together, and it's a really, really interesting thing that happened.
Like I used to have shows at my house and stuff because there wasn't anywhere to play without, again, selling a bunch of pre-sales. Did whatever we could to play wherever we can, and
so even being like in Los Angeles, that sense of individual community, it was very much every person's. It felt like that was kind of, you kept it in your pocket, and like that was your community, and it's cool. Record, language, and perspective. It's basically been just like a huge collaborative effort between us that's been going on for the past 2 years probably, just working on it. I can't wait to get back home and just hold it and like put it on my record player and just play it the way that I've played all of my other records before. It's gonna be pretty cool.
When I'm trying to get my feet off the ground.
Salt is a song that was written twice basically, where the chorus came about, and it was very different from the way that it sounds now. Right now it's very dancey and it's very rhythmic, and it kind of has this like cool African groove and these cool like funky guitar licks and stuff like that. And it didn't start out that way. When you listen to the lyrics and you listen to the chords, you strip everything away from it and you play it. It's like a really sad sounding song. But we realized, because of the subject matter and all that, that we wanted it to kind of have a positive tune to it and take something negative and make it positive. So we kind of brought it into the studio. We brought out some cowbells. He started playing some stuff. We played this drum beat. Started playing this guitar like out of nowhere, and it just kind of turned into like a celebratory song. And now we end with it at our shows, and it's just like a big celebration, and everyone dances, and it feels really good. And it's kind of a cool thing to take something that could sometimes be negative and turn it into a big party, I think is what we realized. Cardiac Arrest is a song that I feel like we owe a great amount to. I'd say it was one of those things that kind of swept us. I don't know, it just really surprised us the way that it started to take off, because it was a part of a collection of songs that we recorded initially by ourselves, no record label, no management, anything. We just kind of wrote these songs, and that was one of a few that we really liked. And we brought it to some managers and stuff, and we got turned down hard, and they said basically that it wasn't going to do anything and no one would care. And so that was a devastating blow to us, because we had put so much time into it, and we thought like, oh, this is our thing. And then eventually that kind of subsided, not entirely, and then we decided just to put it up for our friends to hear anyways, because we spent so much work on it. And slowly but quickly we started to realize that people were taking notice, and now we just finished a 2-month tour of the U.S. and we're playing a sold-out show in New York City. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that's really been incredible for us to watch, and we have a hard time believing it.
Oh no, same old story since day one. Why but I've got no place to run. Well, I can see now.
We could go on about Hangout Fest for a long, long time. It's just this beach town, which was completely different to what we had been doing for the past month and a half before that. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. We go back to our backstage area, which is a private beach, and then Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys walks in with security guard, gets some breakfast, and it's like, it's like, well, and the Queens of the Stone Age over there playing chess, and it was like, okay, this is not the normal day for us. And then we get to the show, and I remember we started playing the song, and just this like uproar from the crowd and people singing along like I'd never seen it before, and me and Ray just looked at each other midway, like, what the fuck is going on right now? One of the best days of my life, for sure. I think collectively. Well, it didn't necessarily happen to me where I found myself like hanging off of a cliff and then rock and roll like saved my life. It was one of those things where, yeah, exactly. I kind of got into it when I was really young, and it was one of those things where I was just kind of just some kid, and I wanted to play basketball, I wasn't that good at that. I wanted to draw, I wasn't that good at that. I wanted to act, I wasn't that great at that. And then eventually music came in and it was like, oh, this is something that I can use to actually dedicate my time to and actually try and do something productive with. So I think in the end, music has definitely shaped my life, and I'd say is the same for all four of us.
We're Bad Sons. Look for us on Last.fm.